Hello, everyone. This is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly reading for Monday, March 30th through Sunday, April 5th. And the 5th is Easter Sunday for those celebrating it, and I would like to say Happy Easter to everybody who is touched by this holiday. Okay? And this week, as you can see, we are using the Flower Therapy Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Robert Reeves. And when I woke up this morning, I when I opened my eyes, I just saw this deck because they're kind of near, like on a shelf in my room, and I just knew this was the one I was supposed to use today. So as always, I have pre-shuffled the cards and drawn them ahead of time. I'm seeing them for the first time, as are you, and let's see what the week has in store for us. This is your Monday, Tuesday card. And the card is Time to Decide, and it's Wisteria, and it says, make a decision now so you can move forward. You know, I have to say that the first thing I'm hearing as I was reading the card was, I don't know what the hell I want. For me, a lot of you have heard me talk about my housing situation. I know that I have an apartment now that I'm kind of uncomfortable in. And I've kind of made the decision that, at the end of my lease in the fall, so about 6 months from now, I will move. But I'm not sure where or what kind of place I'm going to move to. And part of it is because I'm not sure what I want. I thought I really wanted to buy a house, but I don't think I'm quite ready yet. And because of the fact that I just seem to move a lot, I just thought, well, maybe it's just better if I wait. And maybe in waiting, it'll give some time for something better to manifest, or at least give me clarity of making a decision of where I really want to buy or land. That might just mean that if you've been wanting a new job or a new relationship, or it's time for you to decide. Some of you are wanting self-employment, and perhaps that's as a spiritual teacher or healer. And if that's the case, it's time to decide that you really want that and stand in its power. I feel like some of you are floundering around, especially if that's one thing that you've been trying to do, and it's because you need to really believe that it's possible and focus your energy and make a plan, they're saying to me. It's okay to make a plan and then just have one step at a time towards that plan. It's time for you to decide, though, what you want. And once you decide that, it'll be so much easier for your desires to come true. Because as you vacillate with your decision, the universe cannot co-create with you and cannot support you. It doesn't mean that you are not loved, but if you would just decide and commit, it would be easier. For some of us, it's hard to be alone. I recently went through a breakup, and I am alone again, and I feel like I've been alone a lot. But in being alone, that means I have to make the decisions now all alone. And there's no right or wrong decision, and I have to realize that, as I am a human, and so are you. We didn't come here to be perfect, or we would not be human. So allow yourself some time to decide, but know that whatever you decide, there's not a right or wrong, okay? Let's see what the middle of the week brings. Shield yourself. And I'm not going to try to pronounce that flower because I don't know how, but I will show you what it is. And it says, invoke protection to bring this situation to a speedy end. Right away, I'm given an image of somebody in a court case or some sort of legal battle. Or if you have had a battle and you've been wondering whether or not to engage a lawyer, the answer is yes. It's time for you to shield yourself and let go of the drama. So say it's something where you're getting divorced and you're fighting with your ex a lot. If you could just disengage from the arguing, which is really hard to do, especially when there's something that is at stake, like a home or children or all of the above. But to try to let go of the drama, to just say what you have to say and be as civil as you have to be. But I feel like there's nothing good that's going to come out of all the screaming, crying, and fighting. And it's time for you to shield yourself. And part of that is doing it. Part of doing that is knowing when to walk away, when to speak and when to walk away. Because I hate to say this, but if that situation pertains to you, I hear that you are part of the problem. That your insistence upon arguing and having your way be right is part of the problem and not the solution. And the way to find the solution is to disengage from all of the fighting and to just walk away and let the chips fall where they may. And know that if there's a situation like that and it's something like children on the line, you're not going to lose your children. You may have to find a different home, but you have to believe that you are right, that you have legal help that will help you no matter how your ex or the person that you're trying to disengage from is screaming, I just hear the term like bloody murder. And so they're definitely somebody that this must pertain to this week that is definitely dealing with a situation like this. And the way to shield yourself is by disengaging from the emotional situation, allowing the legal help to do what they will, and to have faith that even if you step back, you're not going to lose everything that you've worked for. For the rest of us, that means to shield ourselves. One thing I do every day is ask Archangel Michael, or I try to do it every day. I'm not always remembering it, but ask Archangel Michael to cut my cords and to clear me from head to toe, because as an empath, which many of you are, which means we're sensitive to the energies of other people. And in being so sensitive, we pick up the energy. We might bring home this sludge and not even know that we've got it. When we've got the unexplained, I don't feel good, I want to go to bed. Sometimes it could be because we're picking up energy from other people. So remember to shield yourself. And sometimes that's just going within and, crawling under the covers and taking a nap or whatever it might be. But know that you are protected, okay? And here's what we have for the weekend. Take time for yourself. And this is a tulip. And it says, enjoy relaxation activities that nurture your soul. So they're asking me to talk about what I've done today and this afternoon. I know that I had some things that I wanted to do, and I will still do them. I want to write. I'm always writing, and I want to do some housework. And I went out this morning and I ran my errands, and then I came home and I did something that I normally never, ever do for myself. I just let myself sit on the couch for a couple of hours and catch up on some television shows that I got behind for whatever reason. I'm not a person who can sit in front of the TV for a lot or for a long time, but I had a bunch of shows that I like to watch that I felt were getting really behind, and I just had a really nice time sitting there and enjoying myself and knowing there was nothing I had to rush to do. And it was such a nice little treat that I didn't have planned for today, but it was so nice to take some time for myself. If you've been thinking of going on vacation, or you just went on vacation, because I have to say, there's a deceased loved one that wants you to know that they were either with you on vacation or saw that you were just on vacation. But I do feel like there are some of you thinking about going on vacation, and this is a hit that it is time to do that. Whatever it is that you're thinking of doing for yourself, don't you give so much to others that it's sometimes our attitude and everything depends on us taking care of ourselves. You have to know how important that is, because otherwise we, the helpers, break down in getting sick or, being stressed out. And when we're stressed out, we're no good to anybody. I've been feeling a huge amount of anxiety bubble up lately, because when all of a sudden I got stressed out about my apartment and my living situation, I felt some really old stuff come up, because I used to have problems with anxiety when I was probably in my early 20s, and so this is over 20 years ago now. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of light workers do have problems with anxiety, especially when we're at the point where we're just starting to realize our gifts, or, all our psychic senses are bubbling up and it overwhelms us and we don't know what it means. And so, interestingly, me being overwhelmed with my entire living situation brought up some anxiety, and I didn't understand. It's just funny because I just didn't understand what these little things that were occurring. And all of a sudden I realized they were just symptoms of anxiety that I just used to have. And I thought I had overcome that. And I guess I am not perfect. And I really took a moment to review that it's time for me to try the best I can to relax in what is otherwise a stressful situation. And so for me, I know I have to wait 6 months to move, but this allows me the time to look around and to see what's out there and to decide what I want, which goes back to our first card for the week. I have to say, because you've heard me talk about it too, one thing my discomfort in my living situation has brought me is clarity of the fact that since I moved home from Boston 4 years ago now, I basically left all of my belongings there except for the very important ones, and this means furniture. And I have been living with hand-me-down furniture since I came back. And all of a sudden, what happened to give me clarity was the discomfort I'm feeling on the fact that I'm living over a bar parking lot. And not only are there loud people out there sometimes, there's delivery trucks early in the morning. And I realized, okay, this is my opportunity to actually care about my home, which strangely, I think I'm so focused on helping other people. It was the last thing I thought about. And as a result of that, it caused me some time to review. I've been uncomfortable in my last few homes here. And what does this have in common? And what do I need to do to change this? Well, I don't know if I have the total answer today, but what it did was give me clarity that it's time for me to allow myself, looking around to see what other things I would like to make my home more beautiful and more enjoyable to live in. And of course, I did ask for the help of Archangel Jophiel to help me kind of clear my mind and clear my space, and to help me to beautify my home in the way that I want it to be. And perhaps when I start to beautify it, then I'm co-creating with the universe and will find then the right home when it is time. So you have to trust that all of your prayers are being heard. I think the most frustrating thing as light workers is it's hard for us to bump into roadblocks like that. We're out there helping people and we should be comfortable. So it's time for us to allow ourselves to be comfortable. And if there are roadblocks to that comfort, then we need to kind of do what I was just talking about and try to figure out what you were upset about. Because one of the things that I did with the apartment was I thought to myself, it's not all the noise in the parking lot. What are you really upset about, Lisa? And I realized I was upset because I settled for a smaller place than I wanted. And so it was just a really good exercise in figuring out what I wanted, and that'll help me decide. And until then, I'm going to find a way to enjoy this place the best I can, because it's not going to get better in the future until it gets better right now. That is the kind of paraphrasing the wise words of Abraham Hicks. So I hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful, abundant week and Easter Sunday, if again that is something you are celebrating. I want to thank you for tuning in with me each and every week. I love each and every one of you, and I'll speak to you again next week.